The crows have done amazingly well and really surprisingly well. We didn't expect them to be this good at these kind of problems. They've performed at the highest levels with tasks requiring technical intelligence out of pretty much any animal on the planet.
Crows are very intelligent for animals. Their brain size relative to their body size is of the same caliber as many primates. So it really is appropriate to think of these animals as feathered apes.
Back in Seattle, John Marslough's test crows, who hatched 2 weeks ago, are growing up fast. Marslough checks the nests daily. One nest catches his eye because it's home to a baby crow unlike all the other nestlings. With a distinct band of white on her wings, she's immediately given the name White-wing. Their ever-attentive parents are kept busy feeding them. But they're not the only ones.
Some pairs of crows have what we call helpers at the nest. Those might be a young male or perhaps a female that remains in the natal territory for a year or two, and they help their siblings.
Having so many family members providing food and protection allows the baby birds to concentrate on growing and learning. And this, scientists believe, leads to an acceleration in brain development.
Crows have very interesting social systems, and it's actually probably more like Western human civilization than any other animal on the planet. Right? There are no primates that have what we have in Western civilization, which is essentially a mated pair, right? Monogamous male and female, more or less, with their kids, offspring from a bunch of years, and in extended families where you know your relatives and all that. The basic social unit is the family.
The whole family spends hours standing guard in nearby trees and keeping an eye out for predators who might want to harm their defenseless young. At 3 weeks old, the baby crows are almost ready to leave their nests.
Kind of a tight spot here.
Now it's the time in the experiment to put leg bands and radio tags on them. The team is ready on the ground to catch any crows who might decide to make a break for it.
All right, Dave, get ready.
Okay.
Get ready, Heather. There he goes, Dave, right at you.
I got him. We got him.
I'm coming down.
These are so calm.
They are.
Probably the best way to understand the development of intelligence is to follow a young bird as it's gathering its intelligence.
How's your climb, John?
Either the trees are getting taller or I'm getting older, or a little of both. Really, without a radio tag where you can reliably every day find that individual, see what it's doing, compare to what it did yesterday, understand its experiences for accumulating life. Without that, you really can't understand this development of cognition.
They band 8 birds from 5 different nests.
There he goes. There, you got him. Good job. That one's got the white wings. That's awesome.
Oh, wow. White-wing, welcome to science.
All right, we need to get these kids back to their family.
These young birds are about to experience a lot of new things in a relatively short period of time. Crows have shown a great ability to adapt to change in some unusual ways. As Tokyo has grown into the world's largest city, humans and crows are thrust closer and closer together. it's not been an easy accommodation for humans.
Crows and humans are at war with one another. The crows' resourcefulness comes from their intelligence. Their adaptability is their strength.
A Japanese species of crow known as jungle crows is one of nature's best construction workers. Inventive scavengers, these jungle crows
This is too thin for their beaks. This is too thick. This is a perfect thickness. It is exactly the thickness of a wire hanger.
Jungle crows shape their nests to fit the female's body. The crow manipulates the hangers to create her own made-to-measure nest. Using hangers as nesting material might be a clever adaptation to life in an urban jungle, but when the crows opt to locate their nests in some place other than a tree, it can lead to shocking consequences. Are constantly on the lookout for new building materials for their nests. In Japan, where laundry is done almost daily, it's a common sight to find clothes drying outdoors on metal hangers. For crows, this is an opportunity far too tempting to pass up.
For crows, there is an ideal thickness for nesting material.
Nests intertwined with metal hangers have stopped high-speed trains in their tracks and caused blackouts in entire neighborhoods. So the Japanese have come up with their own clever response.
Preventing power interruptions is a patrol's first priority. Number 1.
The Crow Patrol of the Kyushu Electric Power Company fans out with a single mission: to find and destroy the homes of destructive squatters.
They outsmart us humans. We remove their nests as we find them. But they see this and circle above, waiting to build a new one. It's tough to outwit crows. When we work hard to develop a strategy against them, crows develop counter-strategies to foil it. All we can do is to look for new methods based on our experiences, apply them, and deal with the outcomes. That's the only way we can manage.
I think the crows are as smart as we are, so we feel challenged. We think we have to fight against them. We are competing with the crows, these smart birds, as our intellectual equals in this fight.
Not long after Marsluff and his team have returned the newly banded test babies to their nest, they're ready to head out on their own. Young crows don't leave the nest because they know how to fly. They leave because it's too dangerous to stay. Life on the ground is only marginally safer. The most important lesson a young crow learns is when to move and when to stay still. This parent's verbal signals could mean the difference between life and death. Crows have different warning calls, one for cats and one for hawks and another for humans. Scientists have identified over 250 distinct crow calls. In addition, each crow has an individual voice with at least 2 different dialects. One loud version for the general crow community, and a separate quiet dialect for talk just within the family. These types of sophisticated language skills are found only among the most intelligent of species. White-wing and her brother have managed to survive their first month. They might look fully grown, but they're at the equivalent stage of a toddler. Their blue eyes have yet to turn black, and their beaks have the telltale red skin of a young crow. They're at the very beginning of learning what it takes to be a crow.
Nobody's really studied the acquisition or the learning process at this initial stage out of the nest, but it's got to be phenomenal. They're encountering all sorts of things at that time, new foods, new dangers. They're learning all about their world in a very short, hectic time when they are not very coordinated, so they're also learning how to hold themselves and move through this three-dimensional world.
Even once White-wing is mobile, she continues to beg and rely on her family for food. Crows can spend up to 5 years with their parents, the longest natal period amongst bird species. Like humans, the proper nurturing and education of their young takes time and gives youngsters more time to observe and learn. This luxury of time is a huge contributing factor to a crow's cognitive development. The family provides for almost every need: food, grooming, and perhaps even affection. By the time White-wing is 3 months old, she's starting to really test her wings. And yet, she still clings to her mother's side. Crows seem to need to be close to each other, especially their parents. By the time White-wing is 4 months old, she's starting to find food on her own. She, like all crows, quickly develops an appetite for a wide variety of foods. And this kind of diverse diet has a direct impact on brain development.
A lifestyle that's more complicated because you're eating a wider